All right, let's get ready to dig in. Today we're talking sewer construction, getting you ready for an interview that could lead to a, well, pretty impactful career. And to help us out, we've got some great resources from RoleCatcher, right?
We do. A whole career guide, an interview guide, and a ton of practice questions.
So we're not messing around here. We're really going to use these RoleCatcher insights to help you craft answers that are tailored specifically to this job, right?
Yeah, and that's really key. A lot of people don't realize sewer construction, it isn't just about digging ditches anymore.
No,
It's a field that's changing fast, using all this cutting-edge technology and sustainable practices.
I know, right? The career guide blew my mind with some of these advancements. But before we get into all that, let's be real about what this job actually, what you actually DO.
Right.
We're talking digging trenches, laying those pipes, making sure all the connections are watertight, even building manholes. Not exactly glamorous, right?
True, but it is totally essential work.
Yeah.
Think about it. Sewer systems, they're like the unsung heroes of modern society.
Right.
And this job needs, a unique blend of skills. You're not just a laborer out there. You need to understand construction techniques, plumbing systems, and of course, super important, safety regulations.
And speaking of safety, that leads us perfectly into our first interview question deep dive. How do you ensure safety on a construction site? This one's a biggie because employers really want to see, okay, this person's skilled, but they're also responsible and they take safety seriously.
Yeah, for sure. It's not enough to just say, I'll be careful. You need to really show a deep understanding of the potential hazards and the specific strategies you use to stay safe to reduce those risks.
Right. Specific strategy.
For example, the career guide talks about the dangers of working in confined spaces, like manholes. You could mention that you'd always double-check safety harnesses and make sure there's proper ventilation before even entering a space like that.
That's a great example. And remember, the career guide, it's packed with insights on these potential hazards and, safety protocols. And it even mentions injury rates, which just underscores how important it is to take this seriously. Now, let's say the interviewer digs a little deeper and asks, can you give me a specific example of a time you identified a safety hazard and you took action to correct it? Have a story ready. That shows your proactive approach to safety.
Yeah. And this is where RoleCatcher's AI can be super helpful. It can actually analyze that job description and find all the keywords related to safety, right?
Oh, yeah.
So then you understand how much the employer is focusing on this, and tailor your answer accordingly.
It's like a personalized cheat sheet for this interview.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. What motivated you to become a sewer construction worker? Now, this one might seem pretty straightforward, but it's where a lot of people kind of trip up.
Yeah.
They talk about the paycheck or the stability of the job, but interviewers, they're looking for something more, like genuine interest, passion.
Absolutely. You got to connect your own skills and your experiences to the role. Are you a problem solver? Do you like working outdoors? Do you thrive in a team environment? Highlight those aspects and then link them back to what excites you about this field specifically.
Yeah, and this is a great opportunity to weave in some of the fascinating insights from the career guide. For example, you could talk about how you're really drawn to the challenge of working with new technologies and sustainable materials.
Right.
Show them that you've done your research and you're not just there for a job, you're excited about the future of this field.
Yeah, and think about some potential follow-up questions too. If you mention problem solving, the interviewer might ask you, tell me about a time you faced a really challenging situation on the job and how you resolved it. Have a story ready to illustrate your skills and how you think.
That's great advice. Okay, let's tackle a question that a lot of people find tricky. Can you describe your experience with reading blueprints and schematics? So many underestimate the technical side of sewer construction, right? Blueprints, they're like the instruction manual for building that whole system.
Yeah, you have to be able to look at that 2D drawing and see the whole project, visualize it.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to show any relevant experience you have, even if it's not directly from construction. Have you ever put together furniture from instructions or followed a complicated recipe?
Oh, good point.
That shows you can follow technical diagrams, and that's crucial for this job.
And if the job description really emphasizes blueprint reading,
Yeah.
RoleCatcher's AI will point that out to you.
Yeah.
So you can really showcase this skill in your answer, even mention any software you're familiar with, like AutoCAD.
Now, another question that sometimes throws people off is, how do you approach problem solving when, unexpected issues come up? Sewer construction is full of surprises. Employers want to see that you can think on your feet and adapt.
I remember reading in the career guide about how excavation can uncover all kinds of unexpected obstacles like old pipes or even historical artifacts.
Oh, wow.
That's where your problem-solving skills really come in handy.
Exactly. And it's not just about finding any solution, it's about showing how you think. Walk the interviewer through your approach, how you figure out what's going on, gather information, consider different options, and then, how you actually put that solution into action.
So a real-life example can really help your answer stand out. Have a story ready. Maybe a time you dealt with a pipe malfunction or a sudden change in weather that made you adjust your plans. The more specific you can be, the better.
Speaking of being specific, one question that really gets into the details of the job is, can you describe your experience with pipe installation and repair? This is your chance to shine if you've got that hands-on experience. Talk about the types of pipes you've worked with, the installation techniques you know, and any specialized tools or equipment you've used.
And if you don't have direct experience in sewer construction, don't worry. You can still talk about transferable skills from other jobs or even hobbies. Maybe you've done some plumbing work around your house or you're great at fixing things.
Yeah.
Focus on those problem-solving and mechanical skills that are relevant.
And don't forget about repairs. Sewer systems, they have leaks, clogs, all sorts of issues. Highlight any experience you have in troubleshooting and fixing those problems. Even if it's just fixing a leaky faucet, it shows you understand the basics of plumbing.
And here's another tip from RoleCatcher's AI. Pay attention to the words they use in the job description. If it says experience with a variety of pipe materials, then make sure you mention any different types you've worked with. PVC, cast iron, concrete, whatever it is.
Exactly. The AI is like your research assistant, helping you find the most important information from the job description and tailor your answers perfectly. It's all about showing the interviewer you understand their needs and you've got what it takes.
Now, let's think bigger picture for a second. This question's all about that. How do you ensure that projects are completed on time and within budget? It's about understanding project management and contributing to the overall success.
You got to see beyond your individual tasks. Understand how everything fits together to achieve the project goals. This is often aimed at more experienced people who have a track record of managing projects or leading teams.
Right, but even if you're earlier in your career, you can still show you get it. Talk about how you prioritize tasks, communicate well with your team, and proactively address any potential roadblocks. It's about being responsible and reliable.
Think about specific examples from your past jobs where you helped a project succeed. Maybe you helped streamline a process, save some money, or just went above and beyond to make sure your part was done right and on time.
And remember, that career guide talks about different career stages in sewer construction. You can use that to show how you want to learn and grow in the field. Maybe take on more responsibility, lead bigger projects down the line.
Now, let's go back to a key skill we talked about earlier. Can you describe your experience with reading and interpreting blueprints and schematics? Blueprints, they're the roadmap for any construction project, including sewer systems. You got to be able to understand them to make sure everything's installed correctly and it functions properly.
Exactly. And interviewers want to know that you can look at that 2D drawing and picture the final product. They want to know you're comfortable with those technical documents and can turn those plans into action.
So if you've got direct experience reading blueprints, great. Describe the types you've worked with, the projects you've done, and the specific information you were able to get from those blueprints.
And if you don't, no worries. Remember those transferable skills we talked about. Think about anything you've done that shows you can understand and follow technical instructions. Maybe you've built furniture, followed a complex recipe, anything like that.
Yeah, good point.
It all shows you can interpret instructions and get things done.
And remember, RoleCatcher's AI can help you figure out which skills are most important to the employer. If blueprint reading is a big deal in the job description, make sure you highlight any related experience, even if it's not specifically from construction.
Okay, get ready for our final question in this deep dive. How do you ensure that projects meet all the relevant regulatory and safety requirements? This is about understanding the rules and regulations that govern these projects and showing that you're a responsible professional who cares about safety and doing things by the book.
This one's a two-parter. You got to understand what the specific rules and protocols and how you make sure things are done right.
So how do you nail this answer? First, show off what you know. Mention familiar safety regulations, OSHA guidelines, local building codes. Then describe your process. Do you do regular safety checks? Keep detailed records. Participate in training. Be specific.
And a real-life example will really make it stick. Maybe you saw a potential safety hazard on a past job and took action. Or you went above and beyond to make sure a project met all the environmental rules.
And here's where RoleCatcher's AI can really give you an edge. It analyzes that job description and can actually pick out any specific regulations or certifications that are especially important to them. Then you can use that in your answer. Shows you've done your homework and you're ready to meet their specific needs.
You know, going through all these interview questions, the thing that strikes me is RoleCatcher's AI. I mean, how it can help you really prepare. It's amazing.
I know, right? It's like having this personal coach, but one who's seen like thousands of interviews and knows what works.
And it's not just general advice. This AI looks at the specific job you're going for and figures out the keywords, the skills that this employer wants.
So you're not giving some like generic answer from a textbook. You're showing them you get what they value.
Exactly. You're speaking their language, showing them, hey, I'm the perfect fit for your team.
And it's not just about what you say. RoleCatcher's AI can even help you with how you say it. You practice out loud and get feedback on your pace, your tone, even your body language.
Like a virtual mock interview, but with super specific insights so you come across confident, ready to go.
Game changer for sure. Like leveling up your skills with a power-up.
And the best part, it all works with RoleCatcher's other resources, the career guide, the interview guide, all those practice questions. They've really thought of everything to help you nail that interview.
Okay, before we wrap up, let's go back to that career guide for a second. There's so much good stuff in there about the industry, career paths, even salary expectations. Like, it's a roadmap.
Absolutely. One thing that stood out to me was the section on career stages. It shows you how you can move up from entry level to, foreman, supervisor, even project manager.
That's great to mention when they ask about your goals, right?
Totally. It shows them, look, I'm not just here for a job. I'm thinking long term. I want a career with you.
Exactly. And another cool insight is about sustainability. How sewer construction is getting more eco-friendly. New materials, technologies, minimizing environmental impact, saving water.
It's great to mention that. Shows you're aware and you care.
And don't forget the industry trends section. That's where it gets really interesting because it talks about the future. Robotics, 3D modeling, even AI being used to design these systems make them more efficient.
It's perfect for when they ask why you're interested in the field. You show them, hey, I'm not stuck in the past. I'm excited about where this industry is going.
Okay, we've covered a lot today. Tough questions, exciting advancements, the whole deal. But before we let you go, we want to leave you with something to think about.
Ready for it. Here's the question. What makes you stand out? What skills or experiences do you have that no one else does?
Think about it. Your passions, hobbies, past jobs. What sets you apart? What shows them your dedication, your resourcefulness, your problem-solving skills, your ability to work on a team?
What makes you the ideal candidate for this job?
Take some time with that question. Write down your thoughts. Practice saying them out loud.
And remember, you got this. We're rooting for you.
Now go out there and conquer that interview.
With all this talk about interview tips and AI and stuff, I keep thinking about the human side of it all.
Right, like beyond just skills and experience, what really makes someone stand out?
Exactly. We talk about how RoleCatcher can help you with your answers and deliver it all, but at the end of the day, an interview is just two people having a conversation.
Totally. It's about connecting with the interviewer, showing them who you are, not just what's on your resume, letting your personality come through.
And that's where those soft skills come in, communication, enthusiasm, just a positive attitude.
It's not just reciting answers, it's being genuine, showing them you're not just qualified, you're excited about this opportunity.
Exactly. Remember how the career guide talks about teamwork being so important in sewer construction? They want to know you're someone they can work with, someone who brings good energy and is ready to collaborate.
That's such a good point.
Yeah.
And you know what else I found helpful in RoleCatcher's interview guide? The section on common interview mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
It talks about things like not making eye contact, interrupting, or talking bad about old bosses. Little things that can really hurt your chances, no matter how skilled you are.
I know, right? Those small details, they matter. And this is where RoleCatcher's AI can be helpful again. When you practice your answers, it can pick up on those subtle cues like your tone of voice or facial expressions.
Wow, really?
Yeah. So you can see if maybe you're coming across nervous or negative without realizing it.
It's like having a coach to help you spot those bad habits and present your best self.
Exactly.
Right.
And remember, while technical skills are a must-have for any job, interviewers also look for people who are adaptable, who are eager to learn new things and take on new challenges. Those are the things that make someone really valuable, no matter what the role is.
So as you're prepping for that sewer construction interview, don't just focus on the technical stuff. Showcase those soft skills, those personal qualities that make you stand out. Be confident, be enthusiastic, let your passion show.
And prepare. Use all the awesome resources RoleCatcher gives you, that career guide, the interview guide, their AI practice tools. Put in the effort, and you'll be well on your way to landing that dream job.
And that's a wrap on our deep dive into sewer construction interview prep. We hope you feel ready to tackle those questions. Remember, this is a field with huge potential, and with the right prep, you can be a part of it.
Good luck out there.
Until next time, keep on learning, keep on growing, and keep on diving deep.